A_Maple Mystery, which is Julia, if we didn't know that, is rating with a party of 19. Awesome.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
Wow.
so that
So we just need your camera because otherwise they
yeah.
just see me and that's
Okay,
probably
let me
hard
get
for them
on
to
that
stomach.
now. I might have to I might turn OBS off and on again or
No
something.
problem.
Um,
Well, I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but that's
okay.
the reason
Give me a
I'm
second, Dan. Sorry,
yep,
I'm getting all turned around.
you do your thing.
Okay, let's see here.
Francisco, that's fantastic news. That's fantastic news. Um, yeah, I'm excited about that because I really loved the little clip that you guys showed a while back. I heard Julia talking about Rosewater, and that's obviously, if you don't know, uh, Francisco, aka Grundislav Games, is making a game right now called Rosewater, and his composer is Mark Bennis. And Mark did this really cool thing. The two of them did this really cool kind of promo trailer, and the promo trailer had a little bit of how they were creating the music, which I thought was really awesome. And it had Francisco playing the didgeridoo, and it has Mark playing one little line on the violin that sounds kind of like nothing. And then when you hear it in context, it's like this magnificent symphony. It's pretty amazing. So, yeah, SH Done, that's funny. The staple IT solution. Did you try turning it off and turning it on again? Sadly, you moved upstate, so it'll be what? Well, you could do it. Can you do it on Zoom or Discord? Because Julie and I aren't anywhere close. Yeah, the Lamplight City soundtrack is really nice. I have to be very honest. That was influenced me pretty heavily working on another video game that I'm working on right now for a company called Romero Games in Canada. Oh, there's Julia. Hi, Julia. What's up? It's good to see you again.
Long time no see.
I know. So here's the deal. I have some sounds that I can send you.
Thank you.
They're not really edited. So what I was thinking is we could show some of the editing process too. Might be kind of
Sure.
fun. Um, what I'll have to do is send them to myself. Let me do that now.
Okay. This is probably the least dramatic raid anyone's ever done because you got told every second it was happening, and then when it happened, and now I'm here. So
Well, I'll tell you why
I don't think it's how it's usually done.
it's dramatic for me because I was literally like doing stuff upstairs until the minute I ran down here to start the stream. So the long and short of it is life got in the way, right? My wife left tonight to go hang out somewhere with her friends in the backyard, and she was not going to go because it was raining, and then it stopped raining, so she went again. And I am responsible for the baby, who's I hear kind of calling me every once in a while on the baby monitor.
Call you on the cell phone.
Yeah, so well, here's a good example. She's here, standing up. She should be sleeping right now, but of course
Right.
she's not.
That's what those things do all the time. I remember when my with my nieces and nephew, they're standing up all the time when they're supposed to be sleeping.
She's actually a really good sleeper. What's up, Eric? Rick3636, I should say. Yeah, so I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the deal is? Oh, hold on a second. I got to fix something. What's going on here? Hold on.
Yes,
I don't know.
Flaming Bee.
Whatever. That's cool.
Yeah, that was my first raid, and I was super excited. So now, welcome to Dan's channel. This is what we're doing now.
What's up,
This is now
guys?
life.
It's good to be here with you again. Anyway, what I was saying was I used the Lamplight City soundtrack was definitely an influence on probably both the Crimson Diamond and Empire of Sin, but I would say more so Empire of Sin because I could get away with a little more strange harmony, you know?
Hmm.
So, uh, um, Crimson Diamond might have some cool crunchy harmony, but as of now, it's not super crunchy. Yeah, we got an international stream. We've had it. We've had it. There's been a few people from Europe, a couple people from Canada, a couple people from the U.S. I don't know. I see every once in a while on the Twitch stats. There's people from other countries too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Mm. And before I forget, I heard you guys talking about David P. Gray and Hugo's House of Horrors.
Hmm.
So being as that you can always see my giant collection here of crap behind me, I figured I'd show off some interesting stuff. So here is a CD-ROM which contains all three games of Hugo's House of Horror. Sorry, Hugo's Adventures, which is House of Horrors, Who Done It, and The Jungle of Doom. It doesn't include Nightmare 3D, which people kind of include in the trilogy. They kind of don't, depending on who you are. So this, I have actually 2 copies of this, but only one copy has a CD. So whatever, I just took both of them because that was the option. But what I have that's actually extraordinarily rare is when you registered the game, you would get these. Maybe I'll change the view. That might.
Did you register the game?
No. I unfortunately I didn't have that kind of money back then. It was $29.99 or $19.99. I didn't have that kind of money. I wasn't rich like that. But let's show off. Let's see if this is going to work. Yeah, you can kind of see it probably better here. That is the Hugo's House of Horrors hint booklet, which came with the registered version. You got a hint book for each game. So that's part 1. That's
Oh
part
no.
2's hint book. This is part 3's hint book.
Oh my gosh.
And finally, yeah, the clip art is insane. The Making of Hugo book, the author of the Hugo trilogy by
What?
David P. Gray. This book right here is probably the most rare of the 3, but I think you got all 3 of them if you registered. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people did register because the guy made a ton of money. So whether they kept these books or not is another story. Let's go back
Oh
to
my gosh.
our other screen. But yeah, that's pretty wild, right? So yeah, so here's the thing. I think those items are probably the rarest items I own. Like I don't know if they're the most expensive, but I think they're the most rare items that I own. And all the Sierra / adventure game collectors, the ones that go past the early '80s anyway, are all, super jealous of the Hugo's books,
I
including
am also insanely jealous.
including Francisco too. And I think there's scans of these books. I'm not too sure if you can get this on GOG, right? You can get the trilogy. I'm pretty sure you can. I don't know if it's free. I don't think it's free. I think you can buy it. And I think it comes with scans of the hint books. I'm not too sure. A lot of them do. Like if you buy any of the SSI Gold Box games, for instance, they'll come with scans of the hint books if you buy it on GOG, Good Old Games, GOG, whatever you want to call it.
But it's not the same.
No, it's certainly not the same. And I actually don't know if I have all of the discs of the games. And the interesting thing about that game too is it was released as shareware, but it was technically the full version of each game. Somebody asked, Julie, are you making a physical player manual for Diamond? Well, explain something about that. Let's steal Dave Gilbert and Francisco Gonzalez's theory on physical items.
Yes, Grindislav, would you like to weigh in on that?
I know.
But I will say that if I was going to do anything physical, I would do a player's manual because it's relatively cheap to produce something like that, especially if it's like black and white. On physical copies, like physical goods related to your game, like either a boxed version or other bits and bobs that would be related to your games. Would you ever do them?
Yeah, and I know the answer to that question, but we got the there you go. We got the man here, so why don't we ask him exactly what we thought he was going to say? Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, he's saying if he produced those items, he would lose his money. He would lose his shirt. So whatever people can scrape by and make on adventure games and try to make a living, it would eat into that and make it worse and more difficult. Although there's a rare physical item.
It is a rare. There's 4 of these in existence, and most of them have production issues, and which is why I would never produce these. And they're expensive as anything, and the color's not even that good on them, I don't think. This was with Shapeways, with their colored sandstone, and there's 4 of them, and they cost like $30 each or something. But I didn't order 4. I ordered 2, but they had production issues, so they sent me another 2. So that's a thing that is too expensive to mass produce.
That's kind of cool, though. If somebody wanted one, you'd just have to charge like a ton of money for it.
Well, actually,
I have like that.
My favorite one is actually a 3D printed one that my brother-in-law has like a 3D printer, and he used some sort of wood substrate to print a wooden one of those.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I painted it, and so that one I actually like more than the ones I bought from Shapeways because the wooden one that I painted, like it's not as fragile. It's not gonna break as much, and the colors are much brighter because I of course insanely picked out the exact perfect colors that I wanted, and then of course I hand blended them too.
That's pretty insane. Well, I don't mind those colors. Like, I get what you're saying. As an
Yeah.
artist, those colors are not really acceptable to you. But as a
Hmm.
consumer, I mean, even though I am working on the game, I would also be buying, like, if there was physical stuff, just like everybody else, I would buy it. Like,
Yeah.
if Francisco made physical stuff, I would buy physical stuff. I don't know what he would make, but I would buy it. Doesn't really matter. But one customer is obviously not enough to make that, go. And Dave Gilbert had a unavowed shirt that he was wearing at PAX East this year, and I would have bought one of those shirts too. But
Oh, that's right.
but
That was
he
super
said that
super
he said it's
cool.
one of a kind. He just made it for himself. He just
Yeah,
went on
yeah,
one
yeah,
of those
yeah. I
sites
believe
and
it.
made it for himself.
I have one too. I actually have a Crimson Diamond shirt that I made. I ordered off of Society 6. So I do have merchandise that people can buy, but it's all like print on demand, made on demand stuff.
Yeah, I have one. You sent me one.
Yes. Yes, I gave you one. I did. Yes, I mailed it to you, that one.
Yep. And then I
But
wore it
yes.
for PAX East. There's some nice
Yes.
pictures of us somewhere. Okay, let me look here, and I'm finding my music right now. So let's see. I put
Oh,
all
yeah.
the
So you're going to share some old
graphics.
music.
I'm gonna share some old music. I'm gonna share some new music. I'm gonna share some bad music. Hopefully, maybe some good music. One thing I was playing. Oh, I saw something too in the chat. Hold on, before we even get there. The company that does limited edition physical releases. So yes, there's a couple now. There's probably the one you're thinking of is Limited Run Games, and they make any platform really. They make PC, they make PS4, they make Switch, they make Xbox, they make Vita still. Sometimes they make Wii. I heard there's a new Wii game coming out and a Wii U game coming out. Kind of weird. I think
Hmm.
the Wii game is only being released in Europe. I can't even remember what the game is. But Limited Run seems to do really well. Well, they do really well with their model, but they're selling about 2,000 copies of a console game. And I
Hmm.
think console games still, for the most part, outsell whatever. Ah, Francisco, you have a Shardlight shirt, but yeah, but not for sale. You have one of yours. Like, I can't buy it and get you to sign it or whatever. Can't buy it on. Yeah, Monkey Island recently they did a Sega CD version. Yep.
Oh, hey, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that makes me sad, Francisco. Do you see how sad I am? I'm literally crying on stream right now. Oh, you made one for Ben. Well, that makes sense because you guys worked on that game together, right? That was a co-development effort, Shardlight, the two of you, along with why am I drawing a blank on his name? The composer who I played the music. We played the intro from Shardlight a few weeks back, and it was awesome. Anyway, we'll find that out. Yeah, making shirts is pretty easy. Why can't I find it here now? Okay, so I basically had to go back through my Nathaniel Chambers. Yes, thank you so much. Ah, Amberseen Zero is now hosting you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
I want to show off this briefly before I get into actually doing it. So, this booklet right here, I don't know how many years it's been with me, probably 20-ish, but it's for you youngins. This is a CD wallet or a CD holder that holds physical CDs.
Yo.
I was showing Julia some of them last night. There's Space Quest. You can see I have burned. Let's see.
Nathaniel Chambers did the music for Shared Lights,
Yes,
Francisco
Nathaniel
said.
Chambers. Yep. I burned CDs for various sound card drivers so that I can get them running on my XP and Windows 98
Nice.
machines.
Nice.
Of course, we have to have more Space Quest.
Classic.
What else do we got? We got King's Quest 5 in here. There's Oregon Trail. This is my original copy of XCOM that I don't think I have the box, but I bought this when it came out. Fantastic, fantastic game.
Jesse's like driver discs. Good lord.
Driver disc.
Yeah.
Well, here's a copy. Here's a Dell OEM copy of Windows 7, and I had the actual OEM PC it came with, so I took the code. So in case I wanted to install Windows 7, I could. Now, here's
Oh my
what I
God.
was going to show you guys.
I should start picking up random stuff to look at this Home Medical Advisor, Dr. Schuler's Home Medical Advisor 3.0. This stuff is just around, okay? You want Hasbro's Interactive Scrabble?
So Julia and I are both old, is what we're basically saying.
I feel like I'm missing out on like showing a bunch of. Oh look, here's Mahjong, authentic 4-player Mahjong.
You got to do some that people actually know. Like they know this game, but they never played that.
Okay. How about this one? Hoyle, Book
Hoyle's
of Games.
good, but that's a way late Hoyle. They all love the very first Hoyle.
Oh my gosh, Dan, you're hating.
Where you could play against Ken Williams, and you could play against the Dog and King Graham and all that stuff.
Okay, how about this Nikon software suite for Coolpix?
Was that the one that Maria Sharapova was advertising? No, that was a Canon. That was PowerShot. Oh well. Let me show off this CD though, Julia, before you go crazy.
What?
I'm gonna make you crazy anyway. Problem solved. Do you have any AOL 500 hours free, 800 hours free
probably.
disc? This CD
here's
right here.
Imaging programs. Whoa.
This CD right here. Francisco, you win right there.
Yeah.
This CD right here I burned in probably 1999, and it actually still works. Zip drives I have somewhere. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I can see that going on here in my stream here. I don't know why.
Do you want a copy of Quick in 2001?
It's going on like that. I am noticing that. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can fix this.
Compton's Interactive World Atlas. 1997.
Is that better? Is that better now? Yeah.
Zip drives, Jesse. I have zip drives. Don't even get me started. I have no idea where they are, though.
You're only getting Julia occasionally on the left ear. That's not gonna
really.
Be too good.
I think. Okay, I think. What if I close my OBS? How's that?
Definitely better, but I think the left is louder. Okay, let me. No, I think it's me.
It's you. Dan, the sound guy, has the sound problems. What is this? The best of media clips 2.01.
Can you make a Hugo game with that?
Probably. Oh! Microsoft Encarta 1994. This is probably worth something, right?
Encarta, a CD alone doesn't have much value, but anyway. Yeah, the CD alone, if you had the box, maybe.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm being shamed.
No, you were turned into a discount software saleswoman. And you know, the funny thing is, discount software stores haven't existed for quite some time. No, I just like to show off stuff that I've collected over the years.
Oh my gosh. GameFest 2 CD-ROM.
Well, that's interesting. That's got Doom on it.
It's got Doom on it. This one was a good collection.
But anyway, the CD that I just showed off, that was literally one that I burned, right? Probably when I first had my first CD burner. I was getting out of high school. And I said a couple weeks ago, I was trying to find music that was old. Sports Mania. I was trying to find old music. That's kind of cool.
Brett Hall Hockey.
Interesting.
It's good. I'm just going to show them. You can continue talking. I'm just going to put them on the screen so I don't interrupt you.
No, putting them on the screen is interrupting whatsoever.
No.
No. Why would it be? Yeah. So, anyway, I was showing off a CD that I had, and I actually played Julia a couple different pieces of music, but I was going to share some of that today. And let's find it here. The Grolier Encyclopedia 98. Yeah, that was how we had to do our research back then. We couldn't use the internet because it was considered an unreliable source, and as you guys have seen, times have clearly changed. Let's see here. Okay, I have my old backup. No, the internet is still unreliable. Yeah, that was my point. That was kind of my point. It's actually
Yeah.
worse. You know, I always thought like when we had free access to information, that people would get a lot more intelligent. But clearly, it's not gone the way I originally hoped. But that's cool. Yeah, we're not hopefully turning it into a swag show today. So here's what I wanted to play. I actually wanted to share a few things. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, that's cool. So I originally did music in I think it was 2000. I got a job at a music store, and I couldn't play really. I wasn't much of a player. I was studying really hard. Couldn't really make music. The tools weren't like anything like they are now. It was very difficult to do music on a computer until they came out with this software called Acid Pro, which was like it was like even a dumbed down version of GarageBand. If you guys know what GarageBand is, Acid Pro is like about the simplest piece of audio software you can use. So I'm gonna play a song. This project I got hired for by two guys who were much older and more talented. One ended up teaching me piano for a little while. I studied with him. And they hired me to work on a music project in which we made music for cycling classes. Back then they called it spin classes. I still think they have it, right? Do they still?
They do Peloton now. Dan, get with the program.
Peloton, yeah, we don't have that stuff. We don't have that high end stuff. Anyway, we had designed, it was a 12-track CD that I forget how long it was, but we had designed it to be not necessarily BPM, but energy levels. So you'd start off with kind of like a warm up, and then we'd have a warm down at the end, and it would get more and more whatever. So I'm going to play a little clip of this. This was probably the first commercial track I ever did, and I don't hear it at all. Interesting. Hold on a second. What's going on? Oh, there it is. Yep. Very quiet. That's how it starts off. Hopefully you can hear this.
Imagine yourself on a bike.
Just warming up.
It sounds like it's kind of distorted right now.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's probably just the way the record sounds. It's not the greatest sounding mastered album that I've ever done. Bass drop, right? We found our eavesdropping music. Now this software is interesting. Oh, this is me playing. I forgot. Yeah. And there it was. Doom. Oh, nice. Shareware episode 1. So yeah,
No,
that was it.
I
And
don't have Corel Draw
it's
1.
funny. I got a lot of cool comments during that, and the Davor probably is 100% correct. He said, "Wow, this piece is kind of all over the place." Oh, it's way all over the place. It was pretty much before I learned how to use musical form properly, or I was just doing something to get it to sound cool. I don't know. Yeah, it's not necessarily a very good piece. Now, nobody knew that piece, that classical piece? It's actually a piece that was featured in another video game that I have on the shelf behind me. If you know, let's see. It's a piece by the game is by the Learning Company, which interestingly enough was owned at one time, if you watch the TV show Shark Tank, was owned by the guy they call Mr. Wonderful. What's his real name? Kevin O'Leary, I think.
Oh, yes.
He owned the Learning Company, and he was the one that was how he made his fortune, was promoting and selling Reader Rabbit, which is kind of
Seriously.
wild. Yep. So I'll give you guys a hint. This is the game that it was from, Treasure Mountain. The version I had was the PC speaker version. I think this is a later. Let's see. This says it supports Sound Blaster. I didn't have a Sound Blaster at that point. So, it was a piece called Solfeggio in C minor by Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach, which is one of Johann Sebastian, or the famous Bach, is one of his like 19 sons, or however many kids. He had a ton of kids. Very religious guy, whatever. Created a lot of church music, created a lot of kids as well. And his kids were maybe not as famous as him, but also composers. And that is a pretty famous piece. And when I was young, I learned it, and I just played it and stuck it in there. I stuck the first part of the song in there. So that was kind of my little way of interjecting myself into that track, which is otherwise loops. Logic Quest, I don't know. I don't know what the one from Logic Quest is. So I also found a whole bunch of random stuff. Some old sound fonts, if you guys know what sound fonts are. Those are pretty cool.
You told me what that was, and I forget.
It's basically like, it was what if you owned a Sound Blaster AWE 32 or an AWE 64. The sound card itself could load samples in ROM format into its bank and play back sounds that were recorded or sampled, so they sounded a lot better in theory. And then they came out with sound fonts, which was a software solution. So the software was able to load into your RAM sound samples, and then you could play it back, and you would get better sounds in theory. Some sounded great, some sounded not so great. So I want to play a couple of things now. All this music that I'm going to play now is from when I was in high school. And if I can find it anyway. How do you do Windows Media Player, I think it is. Yeah. And this was the CD that I'd showed you before, the CD3 Plus. That was a CD that I had burned. And at the time, I want to show you guys, this is a really real embarrassing moment, because this is, if you thought that last track was kind of all over the place, wait till you hear this stuff. If you thought that was bad, it only gets worse. But there's some interesting things I can share. So yeah, no, a sound font is almost like, think of it like a real font. Like, you know how you load in a different font and it changes the way all the letters look? So you have MIDI definition, the MIDI definition that's common. There you go. Julie, of course, has a font CD right there. You load in the definition, and it's almost like it replaces all the letters, or in this case, the sounds. So you have one sound for grand piano. If you load in a different sound font, it'll give you a different grand piano sound. So it's whatever, and it'll replace all different kinds of sounds, and it's pretty cool. It actually is pretty useful. And I was messing with using sound fonts at the time on my Sound Blaster Live. If you had a Sound Blaster Live, that was the first card that supported, I think, the loading of sound fonts via software, or at least the first creative card that supported loading via sound font or loading via software instead of hardware, because they had done it before with the Gravis Ultrasound had loadable music or loadable ROMs. It's kind of like taking a keyboard, the brain or the sounds of a keyboard, and sticking it into a piece of software that you can then edit with. So anyway, let me stop being long-winded. Now, when I first started making tracks, producing music, I had a keyboard, and that was it, and a cassette tape recorder from Radio Shack that was like dual deck, which was like, I thought I was the shit when I got that. I was like, oh man, this thing, yeah. You press record, and you could dub from one tape to another if you wanted, whatever. But I had a keyboard that didn't really have a sequencer. So a sequencer is what you can kind of see. You see me when I'm working with Pro Tools. That's what I'm working with. I'm working with a sequencer, right? So, and I'll show some of that in a little bit. But yeah, so I didn't have a sequencer, so there was no real way to properly line up the music, so it's not in time in a lot of places. It does flow, but it's like me pressing buttons or using like sample pads, but having to play it in real time. There was no control over that being, you'll hear it anyway. So I'm going to play a couple of different things. Maybe I'll play, let's see. Yeah, this is also me playing guitar into the sampler that was on the keyboard. And I can't play guitar, so it's going to be too quiet. Might have a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's one other part.
Oh, there you go.
I'll pause it here because that's pretty much the whole damn song. I don't know if I ever made a name for it, or I probably did at one point, but the name was lost, unfortunately. And yeah, all I did was hip hop stuff for the most part. So I don't know if anybody here. Oh, a rap background? You mean like a rap instrumental? Yes, a rap instrumental. That's what you'd call it, or a hip hop instrumental, or just an instrumental, they call it. I don't know if any of you guys know the Wu-Tang Clan. Anybody know Wu-Tang Clan music? Yes? No? You heard of them?
Yeah, they made that. One of them made that martial arts movie.
The RZA, yes. He was the main producer for the group, and he did the music for Kill Bill. That's what you're referring to? Quentin Tarantino
No,
movie?
well, no, he did a whole movie by himself, and it was very awful.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, yeah,
I
he
forget.
did.
It's called Metal Iron something.
Okay. Well, he also did the scores to Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. Yep, ODB.
ODN.
ODN. Sounds like the police station music in Kathy Rain. Well, it was only written 16 years before they probably started working on that game. No, yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan made the album where they sold one copy to the guy Martin Shkreli, who ended up going to prison for some kind of securities fraud. He was the guy who bought the drug company and then raised the price of an AIDS drug like 7,000% or something. You can look him up. He's not a good American, not a good person. But yeah, he bought the original copy, and I think it was sold again. And he played it one day on a live stream on his like Instagram or something. But yeah, so anyway, I was a huge fan of the RZA, who was the main producer in the Wu-Tang Clan. And eventually, Well, I'll play you a song. One of the artists in the group, the Wu Tang Clan, is called Raekwon, or they call him Raekwon the Chef, whatever. He had a bunch of different nicknames. He had a song. He had a really famous album called "Only Built for Cuban Links," and a lot of people referred to it in the hip hop community as the Purple Tape because it was a cassette tape, but it was purple, so it was like, you knew it because it's Raekwon the Purple Tape. So that's how a lot of people knew that tape. Anyway, I'm gonna play a song. Let me see if I can I'm going to play just a little quick clip of the original. I just don't want to get a muted or anything, but let's see. I just want to play just a little tiny piece of it. Here we go. And let's see. I don't think Anyway, that's probably as much as I'll play because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But that was I think in 1998 or 1999, and I attempted to remake that song on my keyboard, having limited skills. But I'm going to play that for you guys, so you could see if you can hear how it sounds. No, thank you. It's pretty out of time. So anyway, all I did was remake the instrumental with like what you were talking about before, the instrumental to that tune. So yeah, it's a little rough because there was no MIDI sequencing, there was no clock putting all that together. But I'm gonna fast forward a few years because eventually that first of all that track stayed and influenced me for a long, long time. Just the instrumental itself. The structure of that song is really bizarre. There's only one hook. It happens at the very end of the song. I don't advise any of my students to write songs that way, but it worked back in the era of Wu-Tang when they kind of just took over for a short while. Hook, yeah. So hook is like just like some piece of the song that sticks with you.
How old were you when you wrote that? Or did that?
17 or 18 maybe.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so a hook is kind of a musical thought. That's more like a phrase. A hook has to be repeated. A phrase doesn't necessarily have to be repeated. So a hook would be something like, it's hard to describe in this particular song. There's a part where she sings, or they say, what do you believe in, heaven or hell? You don't believe in heaven because we're living in hell. What do you believe in, heaven or hell? And so they keep repeating that a couple of times, so that's more like a hook. It doesn't even have to be a melody. It can be just a rhythmic thing in the case of rap music. It can be just an instrumental thing, something like that. Yeah, it's a concept it doesn't take a lot to understand, but it takes a lot to figure out how to create those things. So anyway, fast forward a bunch of years, and I start working with a rapper. I started working with the first probably well-known artist in 2008 maybe, and that was a rapper named Fabulous, who's still around now. I still work with him occasionally. I did something right before, or right before the pandemic kind of struck. We were about to do some stuff together, but it's cool. Anyway, fast forward, I was working with him. I made a song with one of the main producers in his camp, a guy called Molly, and him and I made a bunch of tracks for a bunch of different projects we were trying to get placed. And we made this track for Fabulous, and it had Estelle singing on the hook. It was great. We loved it. Fabulous hears it. He's like, yeah, it's cool. It's not really for me. So, like, okay, whatever. No problem. We just put it, don't think about it for a couple of years. All of a sudden, Molly calls me up. He says, yo, so Raekwon is in our building. He's in one of the other buildings. So he comes over, asks for music, asks us, what do we have? Like, what do you have to play? So he plays him that record, and Raekwon's like, yeah, this is great. So if you have Raekwon's new album, I'm not sure, what's the name of the album? I'm going to look up the song. This album is from, what is the name of the album? The Wild, 2017. Fast forward to that, I think it was before 2017 when we did it. But Raekwon decided to record to our song with the hook, and they put Andra Day on the hook instead of Estelle. Originally, it was supposed to be Alicia Keys, from what I understand, but it ended up, sadly, not being Alicia Keys. Whatever. That's how the music industry just goes. There's a lot of promises, and most of them are broken, but it was still cool. And so for me, Raekwon gets on the song. So I'm going to play a little bit of this song, and this is actually a song that I produced and wrote with Molly, and Estelle wrote the hook on the song. So this is this one you can actually just look up. It's called Visiting Hour by Raekwon. I don't want to get us kicked off. That's Raekwon. So the song is Raekwon. Let's see, Visiting Hour. I spelled it wrong. I can't spell visiting. Featuring Andra Day. Illy Swank. Yo, you missed it. We just played the record that I did for Raekwon a couple years ago. Illy Swank is a buddy of mine, and I probably sent it to him the night that the record came out, maybe before. But yeah, that was the record. And then so I ended up working with somebody that was literally influencing me, 15 years before, which was not something I thought not something I thought would ever happen in a long, long time. But I thought that was pretty cool. So, it was kind of a dream. And then, of course, I spent, after working with Fabulous, and there was a few other things in between, I started working with Sean Paul in 2012. And I've been doing that since 2012. Still doing it, assuming, he decides to go back on the road at some point in the future. It won't be anytime soon, sadly, but that's cool. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to share, and I wanted to kind of share. I wanted to kind of give a real example because I wanted you guys to hear bad. Like, I didn't always have it good. I definitely didn't always make good music. I made a lot of bad music, and it's possible I can still make bad music. I try not to, or I try to be objective about how I judge it so that I can not do that. And I think, if you're trying to make music or if you're trying to do art or whatever you're trying to do, I kind of feel like that's should be a motivation. It doesn't really matter that you can't do it amazing today, because as long as you can do it a little bit better tomorrow, you know, it'll be an improvement. So that's that. Now I think if we want, we could start working on some of these sounds, and I can share. Did I download this already? Yes, I did. So let's try to go into Pro Tools and see if I can share Pro Tools here. Can I do it this way? I'll try to do it this way. Otherwise, if I have to switch to the other computer, we will. Let's see here. Boom. Open recent Crimson Diamond sounds. Okay, good. And now let's see. Let's do this one. Nice shot of Julia eating there. See how polite she is? She's talking. Whoops. I don't need this up right now. She's talking and showing off CDs. So let's add. I need to add another. What do I need to add? What's the thing called? Display capture? No. Window capture. Whoops. That's not it. Pro Tools. There we go. That is it. And why isn't it taking up the whole screen? Is it taking up the whole screen now? No, it looks terrible, doesn't it? Huh. Well, you know what? Let's not do it this way. Let's do it how we did it before. I'll hook up the other machine. Don't save. We'll do it this way. Pro Tools is not the best software for being consistent and not crashing and things like that. And what I've been doing in the past has been I've been streaming from one computer and then using the MacBook to run Pro Tools. But the PC that I have is actually much more powerful, so we'll see. Let's go this way. Did that work? Yes. Boom. So, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. And I just crashed the whole software. Great. Okay. Bear with me. Sadly, this is, I don't need iTunes on. This is the reality of working with Pro Tools, an old version on on an OS that it's not even supposed to work on. Anyway, whatever. This will be cool once we get into it. So we have a few sounds prepared, which if you guys watched previous streams, you would have heard some of them. And we'd kind of like gone through a few different things. what were we doing exactly? We were doing kind of like I guess we were just auditioning sounds for audio assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the past. So what I did is I pulled a few of them out, and I'm gonna show some of those right now, and then we're gonna kind of decide and listen to what Julia likes, and then we're gonna pull some into the session, and then we're gonna see if we can put them into Adventure Game Studio, which is really cool because it's something I've actually never seen. So it'll be like live. I'll be like a Twitch viewer, even though we're streaming from my channel. I'll be like a viewer. Okay, let's see here. It's not in documents. It's not in desktop. Yes, it's Dropbox. Okay. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import every sound that I have into Pro Tools. And there are all the sounds. So Julia gave me a list of sounds, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to actually get all of the sounds. I'm going to see here. I think I have a handful of them. Let's see. So we were going to try to add sounds to the intro portion of the game. So I have a splash for the fish being pulled out of the river, a river sound, a fish being dropped into a metal bucket, interesting, a campfire crackling, crickets, and a gem glinting sound, like a tinkle thing. And I wonder how much of this I actually have, but let's see what I do have.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Oh, we can't hear anything. And I had, of course, set this wrong. There we go. Now we should hear it. Now, that's not the world's greatest fish pulling out of a river sound, but it could work.
We could put it in there and just to see, because
Yeah, that might be cool. So now
yeah.
let's see. So let's do this. Let's make those a color if we're thinking about that. That was this one, I think. Yep, let's make them green if we're going to try to throw them into the other session. Okay, cool. All right, let's go back. What else? Oh, hold on a sec. Let's do it this way. So I can see the tracks, and then I also want to add here. Track color is already there. Can I change the color from here? I can. Beautiful. Okay. Bird tweets. We don't need so much of that. The brushes is interesting because to me it sounds a little like water, but it's kind of annoying. So maybe that could be a river sound of sorts.
That's a river sound, if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, these are all sampled. These are all sampled from an MT32. So these are all MT32 sounds of some kind. Let's see. So let's put this one green. We're going to use this. I'm choosing different color greens, whatever. As long as they're a color, it'll work. There's like a bubble sound. Can we use that for anything? Nah, maybe not. Not right now. How about this? That's a click.
That could be the fish going into the bucket, I guess.
I think we have a better one, but let's put that on there anyway. These are all different green sounds, but as long as we know they're green. Okay, we don't need to monitor it. Thank you. Let's try this. Chipping at rocks, I wrote. Interesting. I don't know. That's not too great for what we're looking for.
No, like for the gem glinting, you mean?
I think it should be glintier.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that a word? What's this? That could be a part of a bucket sound.
Yep.
And what we can do here is we can decide if we want to take some liberties with this.
Mm-hmm.
We could do this. Oh, let me move Hugo. We could do something like this. We could play one sound and another at the same time and kind of mash them up so they both sound like something. So what might be interesting is, let's see, to combine maybe something like that. Now check this out. So they're all over the place, but what if it was like this? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Now it
I think the
sounds like
first part's a
something.
bit long, though.
It's too long.
Yeah.
So how long would you say? Half that?
Yeah, because he just goes. I can't even do it with my mouth. Yeah, 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 better.
Something like that. So now here's where we are. We're using MT32 sounds, but we're combining them. We're using Pro Tools to edit them, but we're not really doing anything to the sound. We're just changing the way they fade in and how they're layered together. So I think, to me, this is still fair game in terms of MT32 programming, because you could do this with a real MT32. It would just take you a lot longer than it just took me. It took me 2 seconds. Great. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce these into one file. And that should be the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Okay, so we have our bucket sound. The next sound is we have a splash, the fish being pulled out of the water, a river sound, which I thought we kind of had, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's see. Well, the sound effects right now, I don't think I only gave you the point noise sound so far, right? Everything else is stuff you pulled from various places.
I made him with beatbox.
You made them? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Now this is a sound that is going to need to loop somehow. So if it's a river sound, you'd want to keep it running, like you're sitting at the river kind of thing. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm gonna check my AGS audio thing and see if there's any
Loop
option
function.
for that. Yeah.
Because what I would do is I would create the loopable wave file, and then in AGS, Julie would implement it, and it would just keep looping over and over again, and you would hear it. And the other thing is, with this particular sound, I would want it to be really soft, like you hear it, but it's not annoying you, because something like this could get really annoying really quickly.
I can make it repeat.
Cool. So I'm not hearing any loop point right there. So there we go. There's a loop. And we're going to, let's do this. I thought it was Command Shift K. It is. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got a river sound.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could raise the level if you wanted to get slick about it. You could do that. That would be an AGS programming thing.
Yep.
Um, you might want to, you might not want to. I don't know. You could do something like that if maybe you wanted to hear the river, or it was important that you could hear the river from a different screen. Like the river could be quiet on that screen and then
Yep.
kind of noisier. There's something like that in King's Quest V, isn't there? Where you're walking along the river at the beginning of the game, and I think at certain points it kind of is implying to you that the river is more rapidly moving at certain points.
Yeah, you can do a thing where it can be a percentage of the volume slider. So, if you have
Interesting.
the volume softer, then it would, increase by whatever proportion the louder stuff would be versus the softer part.
Cool. And it's just a basic implementation. If we were using a software like Wise or something like that, which is like for uh, AAA game development or larger indie game development, 3D games and stuff like that, you can do a lot of crazy things with spatial audio. Or if you're doing VR, it's even crazier. Hi, Anna. What's up?
Oh, hey, Anna, welcome home to your home.
Oops. Now that was interesting. This is just a little bubble noise. Very quiet, though. I don't know. Is that a splash? Is that a good splash for the fish being pulled out of the river? It's a little
It's
lame.
not really a splash.
No. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. That's a blowing up sound. That's a click. That's not going to work. Ah, let's see. What else did we have here? We have car stuff. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Chinese wah. I'm not sure what that is. Cool sound. I don't think it's usable at the moment.
Yeah, we're just looking for the
It's the
very,
same
very
thing.
beginning
Yep.
part of the intro.
That was kind of interesting. Is that a splash?
Could be.
It says cigarette, but let's call it a splash.
Sure, that's the beauty of this. Roland MT32.
It kind of leaves a lot to your imagination, right? Oops, let me rename this. Okay. Oh, look at that. Come on, I got to show that off. Did you already show that off for real?
Yeah, I showed it off on my stream, but I mean,
Oh,
some people
hold on.
here that didn't get to see it,
There
so.
we go. That's awesome. Fish get caught, fish explode. Yeah, what's that game? Ninja fishing? That sounds like a interesting sound. Oops. That could be the fish falling in the bucket, I suppose, but we have that noise already, I think. I don't know if that's too good.
Whoa.
Oops. No. That could be a clinky, glinty
Yeah,
sound,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. That's kind of cool. I mean, might be nice to put on the end of that other one.
I could put all those real close together, too, and they would sound maybe cool. Let's see. Let's duplicate the sound and watch. I'll do this.
Whoa. I don't know what that really high note is, but I'm not a fan of that one.
Well, we can filter that out. It's just a really high sound.
Okay, boy, I don't know why you got me on right speaker. Is it because I'm moving from side to side? Do you hear me Over here.
It must be something with my audio.
You hear me over
I see
here?
that happening again. Oh, you know what? Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can fix this. Maybe I'll mute this for 2 seconds to try to fix it.
Here.
Is that any better? Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
Ooh, Bill Kuhn suggests a musical riddle sound when the fisherman realizes the diamond. And Bill Kuhn, how does my mic sound today? Does it sound like
That's way
hummy or
better.
not?
Sorry, that was a problem with the audio snake.
Audio snake.
Yeah, there's too complicated of audio routing here. I'm trying to make it simpler. So the bottom line is, right now, I don't know if you guys know what's going on. I'm trying to see if Julia will go for this sound, and she's clearly indicated that that sound sucks. And
Well,
no matter what I'm selling it, it doesn't matter. So this is a good example. No, this is a good example. Remember as an audio person who your boss is at the end of the day. The boss in this case is right there, right? So I'm remembering. And of course, it's important if I have like a strong feeling that I should make it clear. But in this case, I don't have a super strong feeling. I'm just trying to see if we can get something that'll work for different sections. But it doesn't. It's not making the boss happy. Do something better.
well, sometimes the boss doesn't know what she wants
That's
or what
true
she's looking
too.
for.
That's
So
true too. But I
that's
don't
the
think
thing.
that's the case here.
Yeah, I don't really like the super high pitched tones and stuff, just in general.
Yeah, this
Hey,
one
Rick.
isn't doing anything. What's up? Welcome back, Rick. 3636363636. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good, sweet. I'm glad, Bill. I think I just had a dumb thing going on where my audio input wasn't set correctly or something. So.
Oh God, too many sounds at once. Don't do that again, please.
No.
That's a cool sound, but it doesn't really help us.
It could, you know what? That sounds like a wet fish hitting a bucket, but
Well, we could put that in there too. Let's add that. Let's add that to our other sound. Where was our fish sound? But what happens when you turn 30? Are you 36? I don't even know. When you turn 37, you're going to be Rick 3737. You just have to get all the numbers now before, otherwise. Let's see. Where's our sound that we've made? Which one was it? There was two sounds put together. Where did I put them? It's these two right here.
I'm gonna go to the washroom. I'll be right back.
There we go. Okay. So we could do a few different things here. Could do this. Does that improve what we're doing here? I don't know. That's with it. That's without it, rather. That's with it. It's very possible he's 36 years old. 36. Oh, yeah. ESPN, definitely. Yeah, so the interesting part about using the MT32 for everything is that it's not, whoops, I got that set up wrong. No, that's not it either. That's definitely not it. Oh, let's go back to this one. Yeah, the interesting thing about using the MT32 is that there's not always good sounds for, especially the sounds that she wants. Like if I was properly sound designing and I had any option to use any sounds, I would try to get either real people that have sampled these things, or I would try to go out and record it with a microphone myself in the field. But that's more heavy sound design, and that it would actually probably take away from your immersion. I don't know if you guys remember, we talked a lot about the immersion and the immersive experience with audio and music in general. Like the whole goal of this is to be immersed into the game, right? We want to bring you more into feeling like you're in a lodge in Crimson, Ontario, but also that you're playing this game in 1989. You just finished the Colonel's Bequest. You're looking for something similar, and then you know what I mean. There you go. So yeah, I mean, Davor, if you want to grade the MT32 against anything, it will lose every time. It's just not a good sound source. It's just that's what it boils down to. That's the sad reality of it. What do you mean? Explain what you mean. EA Sports. It's in the game. Yeah. You play Madden or anything, Eric? I used to get a lot of my music from FIFA games and from Madden games, and they took pretty much all the music out of those games, all the licensed music. And I don't know if there's any GTA 5 players in here, but I've been playing the single player story mode again on PC because I got it free. And man, that licensed music is unbelievable. They licensed so many songs, but whoever did it did a great job. It just fits perfectly into the immersion and the immersive experience, and the voice acting is phenomenal. And even the animations are so well done. It was kind of mind blowing to watch it. In the game's what, 6 years old, 7 years old, something like that. It's like Skyrim. It keeps going and going and going. Yeah, the GTA soundtrack is really unbelievable. So what do you say? I mean, the MT32 is only going to get so close to a real sound you want, but it doesn't mean the real sound isn't useful as a reference. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, sometimes I don't do that because I know that I'm not going to be able to get that close to that sound. But what we could do here is, and this is what I wanted to wait for Julia for. Let me show you this. Let's take this sound, let's reverse it. And then, yep, all the GTA games pretty much had really good soundtracks. Now let's hear what this sounds like. I don't know if it adds much or not. It might add something, it might not. It does add a little bit. It does add a little bit. It does add a little bit. Doesn't add a lot, but it does add a little bit. So maybe let's take this and let's just...
I kind of want the thunk sound at the end to be a little longer.
So we can do a couple of tricks here. So there's no good way to do it via synth programming, but what we could do is we could use a little bit of delay, which is not native to the MT32. The MT32 only has reverb and chorus, but you can fake delay on the MT32 by using repeated notes. But in this case, I would actually maybe consider using a real delay or a reverb and seeing what happens. Let's try using a real reverb and see what happens.
Okay. Because I think it would actually work for the sound.
Yeah, it might. Let's see what it sounds like.
Yes.
That's a little ridiculous for a bucket.
It's a bit long, but that's definitely like getting there.
That's better.
Again, sorry. It's good.
I mean, we can go nuts with the presets, and I can also try to program it too, but that's no good. It's going to have to be a small one. That's interesting.
It's good.
You like that one?
I like it. It's not too long.
No, I like that. Okay, let's do this.
Oh, I brought more. I felt shamed by my poor my discount CD collection. So I brought something else. I've got this Broderbund game in box.
What game? We can't see it. You're holding it too.
I know. Here we go.
We
Ready for this amazing Broderbund game?
Rogue?
What's that?
Is it Rogue? No.
No. Good guess. You're never going to guess.
No.
There's a wizard. Look at that wizard.
Hold on. We need to make you bigger. There we go. Oh, it's a VIC 20 by Bruce Zwig. and that was ported by James Fox and Edward Chu.
There's a wizard on a planet.
Space Rogue? No, Space Rogue looks totally different than that.
Here we go.
Master type. No, I would not have guessed that. You're correct. Is it a typing program?
Yes.
Interesting.
And it doesn't look anything like this, okay?
No, it looks
There's nothing
terrible.
on the back. It's just like...
That's what it looks like. No, they didn't make Rogue. Epix made Rogue. I think I just got that wrong. And I don't think I have any VIC-20 stuff.
Oh, all right.
So Julia's got stuff that I don't have. There you go.
See, there we go.
Oh, hold on here. What did I just do?
Oh, while you're wondering, I can share another one. Double ender.
Oh yeah, there's a handful of these. That's not a pun.
Does anyone want a double ender? That sounds terrible.
Don't ask that again, please. Oh dear. This is a family show. Well, it used to be. Okay, so now we got a better bucket. Yeah. Sorry, Francisco. Francisco's stomach is turned. The Davor. I think everybody.
There we go. When a double ender's got a manual. I said it again.
Well, that is what it's called. You just don't have to make any other references to it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right.
Tomark the Barbarian?
Yes.
And what was the other
one?
Tomark, and what was the other title?
Motocross Racer. There's snakes
sweet.
in it for some reason.
Well, there's often snakes in motocross.
I guess. I never watch it, but you know what? That makes me want to watch it.
There's very much not, but that's all right. Let's see here. Let's play these last couple of sounds and see what we got. That sounds like... Did you ever read those stories when you were a kid? And like they said, now turn the page. Or like a audio, and they had the little page turning noise. That's what this sounds like.
Yes, it was that sound, or it was just like a bong sound, bong.
Yeah, it was really kind of weird. I always liked those sounds, though. Now that one sounds like Quest for Glory 1 VGA. Doesn't it? Like when you're in Erasmus Tower, and he disappears and goes into the upstairs. I swear to God, that's the sound.
That's pretty good.
But I played it. We could use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, magic wand sound. Yeah, but there's no magic wands in this game. Davor the VGA version is my favorite one. And as I understand it, either Lori or Corey prefers either one. One of them prefers the EGA and one of them prefers the remake. So there's no wrong answer. And I'll use the Coles as my scapegoat there. Respect lost. Yeah, I think you could probably give me minus points on the channel somehow. I don't know. Give me like one of those like upset faces. What is that? I don't even know what this is, but let me give you that one. That one looks pretty funny.
You can't tell if Nancy's upset. She's got one of those like blank faces. You can kind of put anything you want up.
Do I have access to those? I don't think so. I think I have to
I don't know who has access to them.
I have Amiga Bill for some reason. I think it maybe is if I subscribe to your channel, or if I, what do you have to do? I don't know, something. It's more than follow. It's subscribe. But we'll put Amiga Bill on there. Aha,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I subscribe to Francisco, so that's why I have his.
Do you have Miles Fordham?
No, I've got the lady.
Oh, Rosewater.
Yes.
Okay. So you have newer stuff than Francisco. Francisco has his old stuff, but he doesn't have access to his new stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna have to do.
That's too bad, Francisco. Oh, he has all of them.
That's good for when the diamond is coming falling out of the belly of the
I think
fish when it
so,
kind of
right?
slits and falls. To go.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I think that's all the sounds we need.
Cool. Yeah, email them or whatever.
I'm going to email them now. I should save this. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to us. And then yeah, let's see. I think yeah, it's how you Twitch Prime subscription or something. I'm not too sure. I also have the Amiga ball, which is pretty cool. If you guys like Amigas. I think you have to subscribe. I'm not too sure. Starting to beat Miles with hair length. Yeah, me too. I
Well, you
showed
have to be
Julia
a current
yesterday.
subscriber, I guess.
You
'Cause
want to
yeah.
see the hair length? I'll show it to you. It's pretty
Oh
nuts.
yeah, epic.
This is what Miles Fordham looks like in real life. Except I don't take as much opium or whatever he was taking. Laudanum, I'm not sure. He was addicted to something for a little while. Yeah, Francisco, it's nuts. Okay, I'm going to email this.
Sweet.
Thank you.
And in the meantime, I've got one more game to show.
Awesome.
It's another. It's by Sega.
Oh, that is I want to say it's Congo Bongo. Yeah. There
Good
we
work.
go.
How do you know that?
Well, big bucks game collecting, you know. You'd seen that. I
You
got the
sound
90s middle
ashamed.
part. Well, I don't really have that, Francisco. It's just how at the moment it's with the hat, but it goes all over the place. Usually it sticks way up. My father's like 72, and he has like insane poofy hair. He didn't lose any of it. He's lucky.
Yeah, Grindoslav said you have the '90s center part going
Yeah, I
too.
was thinking of it. 10 inches of hair. Wow.
Can't you just part it to the side or something?
I could, but it still looks ridiculous. And it
Can we see?
puffs out. Wait, you want me to do it right now? What is this? Like styling with
Oh
Julia?
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I can do all kinds of stuff with this. But usually if I get out of the shower and I just let it air dry, it'll just poof up. Kind of like this. Yeah, there you go.
It is impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to be I'm going to help Grundislav for the Miles Fordham Easter egg rotoscoping. I'll be the hair rotoscope model. Just send me what you need, Francisco. I'll have you. I'll send it over to you.
Who wouldn't want to be rotoscoped into one of Francisco's games? That would be an awesome perk.
I think the only person that is Francisco, right? Or does he use
No,
other
no, his
people too?
girlfriend too.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Well, Davor chopped off something like 10 inches of hair when quarantine opened a bit. Holy cow. It's a lot of hair. Oh, you've used a few other people too, Grindeslav. I would volunteer. I don't know how that would work though. I figured probably need people in person. Volunteer as tribute. Okay, I get it, Dave. Well, you were going in needing a haircut, and that never changed. Yeah, the last time I got my haircut was uh, I have no idea.
1963.
6 to 8 months ago, a year ago, I don't
Oh,
know.
I
I've got
was
a
like,
bad memory, and I get my haircut like twice a year, so.
I always need volunteers. Well, I'm happy to
Ah,
help.
sweet.
Trust me.
Got the files. Let me import them into thing. Hold on. So let me grab them, and then we can do the whole shebang.
Someone in Lamplight City is credited as the severed hand model. That's funny. Kennedy was president, right? I thought so. If I didn't cut my eyebrows, that I would have to cut because literally it starts bugging me. But I would look like
Oh.
Martin Scorsese actually had a full like I don't know squirrel, not just caterpillars, like a full squirrel on his eyes.
So that's what happens with guys' eyebrows. They just grow out.
They just go nuts. Like I don't know. Some people do. Some people, some people don't have. Some people are more follically challenged than others.
Hmm.
I don't really have that issue so much, thankfully. But I think most men actually do. Right? I don't know what the percentage of it is.
So if you've been cutting your own eyebrows?
Yeah, I have a trimmer. And my barber also does it when I used to back way back in my
Oh.
day when you used to be able to actually go into the barber and see one and
Hmm.
sit down in a chair without a mask. Yeah, you used to be able to do those things
I see.
before the days of shard light coming true.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I saw Dave Gilbert posted something today about shard light discussing at the time with Francisco. I think if it was too dark, if the subject matter was too dark, or if the it was something about because if you've played the game, there's a pandemic essentially going on, and there's people wearing masks, and it's hits a little too close to home at the moment. Probably at the time, nobody was thinking anything of it, but maybe you guys were. I don't know. Maybe you guys were thinking of it. Maybe you were listening to Gates and saying, and these other people saying, "Hey, we got to watch out. There's going to be a pandemic. It's coming. We don't know when." And nobody listened, and here we are.
So Grundislav also trims his eyebrows every so often.
Oh, nice. See,
Interesting.
we try to be well-groomed individuals. Well, yeah, but he cuts his own hair too.
Does he?
Yes, he's
Oh,
famous for
very
cutting
good.
his own hair. In addition to making video games, but I think probably primarily people know him for cutting his own hair.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Interesting. Gray eyebrow hairs. Hmm.
Famous, definitely famous. Well, maybe infamous. Either way,
Let's
it's
see. Let me
impressive.
unzip these
It's impressive,
glasses.
Francisco, because you appear as a well-groomed individual, and if you completely are responsible for grooming your own hair, it's very impressive.
Okay, so you don't have to do anything different, but I'm gonna swap my view in the
Okay, I'm
OBS.
gonna give you a bigger. Whoops.
Let me screen
I'm gonna
share
give
my
you Julia.
OBS.
I'm gonna have Julia only there.
Oops, oops, screen share. Nope. Wait a second. Wait a second. Don't minimize, don't minimize, don't minimize. Screen share. OBS. Share. Okay. And I'm gonna, try to make stuff look okay. That's not bad. It's funny that like the portrait you're seeing is just my window now.
A portrait of a
Um,
portrait of a
the
portrait of
portrait
a
of a portrait.
portrait.
Let me turn that one off. That's not all that necessary in this. Which one is that?
Oh yes, that's right. Dave said so. He was talking about Gilead Pharmacy or Gilead. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
Where is that one?
That's
Uh-oh.
the company. They're going to charge
Source.
originally $3,100 US for a vaccine. But first of all, they have to come up with a vaccine, which they don't have. Gilead, Gilead. I don't know.
Okay, there it
Is
is.
it like
Okay.
Homer? Is it like the Iliad? Gilead? I don't know.
Okay. I can make this way bigger. Give me a second. I'm going to do one of these. Okay. So I'll leave little Nancy there. I like her there. Okay.
I do like Nancy there. Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Okay. So we're going to go into, I guess, mute sound. There's a audio area here. You can go into sounds. Right click it to go into add audio files. We need to go into AGS intro stuff. Intro stuff. Oh, is it at the top? No, it's not. I named these badly. Okay, intro stuff. Where the sounds at? Oh, Dan intro sounds. Okay. So first one is the river, right? So let's get the river in there. So let's put that in. Okay. So here it is. You double click it to open it. So here's the bottom right
Can you explain a little
area.
bit to what we're looking at? Because I kind of know, but I kind of don't. So
Okay.
hopefully I'm not the only one that doesn't know AGS.
The bottom right has the properties for the audio part. So you can see here the default priority for play. It's covered. Hold on, I'm gonna pop it out so you can see it better. Okay. So this is the properties window, and you can so you can do repeat. So I'm gonna put that on true because this is the river area. Default priority. So this is, yeah, priority for like what is gonna play over the other thing, and then a river is what we're gonna call it, and it's a sound. I'm just trying to catch up on chat here. Abalone and Aleutians. Where did that come from?
It's not
Oh,
showing
cool.
the property window popping out.
Oh, it's not. Oh, darn it. Okay,
No.
so I'm gonna stick it back into the. I gotta stick it back into the. Okay. If I stick it back into this, you can see it there. Give it a second to update or whatever. Can you see it now? Because it's not part of
Yes,
the same.
properties, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I've changed it to default repeat true. I'm gonna leave all this. It's called a river. Usually with AGS, we try to keep things consistent with assets. So audio assets, we would start with a lowercase a and the name,
Cool.
and
So
then
I'm
sound.
doing a bad job of naming. I'm already screwing up, doing a bad job of naming. But this is a learning experience for me. So I don't know that, but now I gotta remember that to categorize sounds because as soon as we get to like 20 or 30 sounds, it's fine. Once we get to 300 or 400 sounds, it's impossible. And I don't know if we're gonna get that to this degree for this game, but suppose Julie and I were just small, tiny cogs in the AAA machine, we could have tens of thousands of audio assets, maybe more.
We could also preview it here so we can play it.
Okay.
I don't know how loud that was for
It was
you.
fine. We heard it. Didn't sound amazing, but we heard it.
Okay. And then, so what we're going to do, I'm going to open up my global script. Although I can't, I wrote down where in the script I need to do this, but I'm just going to open the header stuff. This is the header global script. These are functions that work throughout the whole game. But I'm just doing this because I need to go to a specific area of the global script, and I wrote it down, but I don't remember where. Okay, so, and also like there's Tom Simpson is here, who's done Feria Darls, which is another adventure game studio game, and we have Francisco here, who has obviously he's done a Golden Wake and he's done Lamplight City, which are also adventure game studio games.
And Shard
So I'm
Light.
feeling, what's that?
And Shard Light.
And Shardlight, of course. I'm feeling very self-conscious about showing this because I'm sure I'm doing this all wrong. So if either of them says, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" I should probably listen. But so right now I load the sounds into different FX things because the sliders are affected by this property. It's either sound effect or audio. So there's music and sound effects. Because when you oh my gosh, yeah, these guys know way more than me, so I'm kind of self conscious
No,
about it.
he's
But
saying, does the game compile and run? Then you win. That's a win. I get the
yes,
impression. That's where he's
okay. So
going.
here we have. Hold on, let me open up this property area again. I'm gonna put it back where it was because okay, there. I like it better here. Okay, and I'm gonna open it like this. Okay. So yeah, you can see that these sliders are called different things. So slider audio and then slider sound effects. So this means that the sound that we're going to stick in is going to be governed by that same volume setting. So also what's nice about putting them all here is if you decide, which we may eventually decide, that we're going to change one of these sounds and update it, we don't have to update it through the whole code. We can just update it in this one place, and then anywhere I call the function waltz music, for instance, it'll just play whatever I put here, and I won't have to switch it in like the dining room and the billiard room and the conservatory. It all get changed when I do
And
this
is
once.
that because you put it in the audio area or you put it in the sound area
It's
properties?
because I'm calling it as I'm just defining it as a specific function. So
Okay.
for instance, this sound effect. So what I like to do is let's just start from the beginning here. So we're going to call this function, and this might be very inefficient and horrific, but this is what I'm doing. Um, so function, let's call this river sound, And I apologize, my computer is chugging a bit because,
We're choking
ooh,
it out right now. We got
yeah,
our
it just
we
chugging
got the boot
because of,
we got the boot on it, and we're giving it a kick in the butt, and it's not dealing with it well.
nope. Okay, so, and I closed Firefox because that's kind of resource hungry. Okay, everything else I need. Okay, so function river sound. So this is gonna be the river sound, and I like to just copy and paste stuff because I'm lazy.
That's great.
So, but we're gonna change this A thing here to river, and it should self-populate. Oh, but it's so slow. Okay, there it is.
It's
So we
funny.
can,
Julie and I are using very different machines.
yes. Yes. So there it is here. So we're using, oh yeah, we're setting it. You know what? Should I set it as me? No, it is a sound effect. I'll set it as sound. So we're gonna save that change, and then what I have it, I'll put it in. Actually, I don't need to put this in a global script actually because this is, I'll do it anyway because we might use this in other parts of the game. Some of them I didn't put as global scripts because they're not used in other places.
What
Maybe
does
different ones.
self-populating mean? I'm making this about me, but I don't know anything about programming or anything. What does self-populating mean to an idiot?
That means is, so. For instance, when I started to write in this area, when I was going to call the sound, I
Mm-hmm.
started writing river, and so what it does is it's going to give me the options here of, you know,
Oh, other ones.
yeah, all the other ones plus potentially the one I want. And if I double click it, it's going to stick it in there,
Oh, cool.
which is nice. Okay, so we have that here, and so I'm going to open up the room for the intro, um, which is an it's an intro room specially, and it's intro room one, room script. Okay, so this is a bunch of code, and so what we have is the very part where we have the fisherman is this part here. So we have display Crimson Ontario 1914. So what we can do is the start of this cutscene, which is what this note says here, and you can escape it with pressing escape only. Yeah, yeah, I noticed that, Granislav. Yeah, the pop-ups don't pop up. Need to do screen capture, but what I'm showing right now is kind of okay. I'm hoping. Yeah, I can see it's kind of doing what I need it
This
to
is
do.
Adventure Game Studio, Bill.
Yes, this is Adventure Game Studio. And I don't know what the programming language is called. But okay, so what we can do is we can say, I forget what we call this now. I haven't added sound in this for a while. So what do I have to do to call this? It's called this thing play, I think. Is that what it is? TCDFX play? TCD FX. Yeah, here it is. Oh, you know what? And then I have to call it. So give me a second. Oh no. Okay. I have to say T. What was the function called again? River sound or something? Oh, I have to import. I do have to import it because I'm doing it this way. Okay. So I'm just gonna do that.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave you for 2 seconds because I gotta go check on my baby and make sure she's not sweating.
Sure.
Make sure her room is the right temperature. I'll be right back.
Okay. Import function river sound. Okay. So we're gonna do river sound here. Um, and I think that'll do it, right? Because I get to play. Yes. Function river sound. Okay, cool. So that should load the river sound. Um, Bill, can you think it looks like Visual Basic like macros in Excel? I know zero. This is all I know. Like all I know about computer programming is this. So I couldn't even begin to guess. Oh, hey Anna, no, I'm glad you're here. You know. Okay, so river sound. But the thing is with this is I see. I don't even. This is another example of I don't know how to do stuff because in order to stop the river sound, I just have to say stop and call that particular sound name wherever I want it to end. So let's see where would I want it to end? I would want it to end when we start seeing that night section. Oh no, yeah, this is the night section, or even the bucket area. Maybe I'll end it at the bucket area. So if we actually, yeah, the bucket visible. So what I would do would go I would go A river sound stop. A river dot stop. Which is very bad, and I'm sure there's a better way, but I haven't bothered looking. So that's going to cause that sound to stop. So when we play the intro, hopefully we're going to get the river sound at the level that the main menu dictates with the sound slider, FX slider, and it's going to stop when we have a close-up of the bucket. So let us see if that's what happens. Okay. Now see, after you import something into the header of the global script, it has to rebuild all the rooms, and there's like 70. So for me, it doesn't take that long because I only have about 70 rooms. But other games, like I think Francisco mentioned, some games have like 150 and stuff like that. So this would take a little bit longer to do, but you know. Okay, so let's see if this is going to play. And I think it should pop up as another window capture because I set 2 window captures. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to double check OBS is showing the right thing. Okay, so I'm going to make this bigger because I have to make it bigger. Okay. So, first question is, can you hear audio for it? Does the window give us audio? No audio? Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Did therefore you think I should show more confidence? Or that you hear very quiet audio? Okay, I'll turn it up. I will turn it up. So let me get into that.
The audio for the game, you guys can hear it. I can't even hear it. There
Okay, can you hear it now?
Yeah, it's coming through your speaker. Okay. We're hearing it through your speaker.
Oh, okay. Let me change this. It's through the mic?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
All right. Well, you know what?
We're hearing like your speaker output and then coming into your mic.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Let me see if I can fix that for 1 second. I'll try one thing.
Audio routing to do audio live is a real pain. Like I've been racking my brain.
Okay, let me see about sources.
I can't actually change this because she's in OBS as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hosting her in OBS, but it's up to whatever she sends me audio-wise is what we get.
Audio output capture. AGS window. I don't even know what this is going to do.
Yeah, it is a little bit nightmarish. It's been giving me headaches, and I've been doing audio for 20-something years.
Speaker's real. Okay, let me try this. This might get loud for a second. Hopefully it will do something. Did that do anything? Is that better?
No, I don't hear it still.
Oh boy. Nope.
I barely hear it.
Okay, well, you know what? I can pump up the volume and then rearrange my mic. And it's not going to be great, but at least we'll be able to hear it. Well, you know what I don't know how I would do it otherwise.
I'm not too sure. I know I have a new mixer on the way, but that won't help your audio situation much at all. Sorry.
Okay.
I have a new mixer on the way. It's shipped today. And I have a new headphone stand on the way, which is also really exciting, but it won't help us sound any better at all. Sadly.
Audio output capture. Desktop audio. Let's try desktop audio. Does that do anything? Anything, Dan?
No.
Well, let's just. You know what? The thing is, we're doing sound effects, so we don't need that. I'm just gonna pump up the sound effect volume.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Don't worry. Anyway.
It's not even that audio routing is problematic. It's that Twitch's audio mixer just really sucks.
Okay, so I'm going to move the mic closer to the machine, and we'll just do it that way.
Sorry.
Well, hopefully we're going to hear a river sound that stops when we get to the close-up of the bucket.
I like how it looks like Nancy is like a straight up Twitch streamer. Like it would be cool to see her playing like Call of Duty or like you know.
I could probably make her background like transparent. Maybe if I save it as a PNG or something with a transparent background. But anyway,
Her face does look a little judgy, right?
Oh no.
Julia's game.
I just broke it, you see?
I'm guessing that screen is not in the demo or the final.
No. What'd I do? No. No point of reference. Great. Didn't work the first try. Okay.
So does it
Function.
compile and run? The answer is it does not.
The answer is I broke it. TGCFX River play. Of course it doesn't work. I've
Can,
done this before clearly because I've.
can someone
Oh,
explain to me
okay.
in the chat what a null pointer is? Hey, what's up, Furroy?
Heyo.
I've heard that term. I don't know what it means. It means it's
I
pointing to something that doesn't exist.
hold on. I want to see the Let me see the error message again. Okay. Why would it do that? Okay. Why would it do that? Error functioning. We have to fade in.
Gotcha.
Really? River sound. So it's not pointing to the right thing. Did I
It's
not do
pointing
that
to
right?
nothing.
Let's see. Did I? I thought I imported it properly. Import function river.
Either you imported it incorrectly or you labeled it wrong. Is that the other possibility?
Import function river sound. This should work. Now I can close this one. I don't need this one. See, already we've hit a snag. And I've done this before because obviously there's music in other places. So let's take a look at the room. Okay.
I like this. It makes me feel like I'm learning something and I maybe have a shot at knowing what the hell I'm doing at some point.
You are not learning anything. I promise.
You're a
Okay, I'm
liar.
just here. I think maybe I just forgot to put something. Why would it? I'm just gonna declare everything here, because let's just do it this way first to make it work.
I'm trying to translate, Davor. So a pointer to an integer. A pointer is a data type that points to another piece of data. Okay, cool. I get that. I'm with you there.
Okay.
Pointer to an integer is simply a location in memory, but it tells the computer that the memory location is an integer. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure I understand all of it. I don't understand much about integers other than that it's a number, right? But it's more than a number. I don't know. I'm not a very smart math guy. They say that music makes you really good at math. That did not work for me. I'm one of those outliers for that adage or that stereotype. Did not work. I wish I had it. Don't.
Yeah, Grindislav TCDFX is an audio channel. Did I break it again? Oh, there it goes. I didn't. I just did it the simple way, just to make sure it was working. And do we hear any? Do I hear any river? I don't hear a river. Let me turn up the sound effects. Okay. What is it doing? See, I've completely broken everything. Okay, see, running function, SLFS on change, null point of reference. Really? This was not working before.
I don't know. I kind of like seeing the bug and having to, or not a bug,
No,
a
no, you
null
don't like
pointer.
seeing the bugs, Dan. You've got
But
it all
but
wrong.
I do because it's educational, right? This is like how people get better, isn't it?
Yeah, Grundislav, out of curiosity, is there a reason you have a separate function for each sound effect? Probably because I don't know what I'm doing properly. But as I was explaining it before, it was because if I change the sound effect, and then the sound effect is governed by the volume slider I have in the main menu, because it wasn't doing that before. But I could be totally wrong. That's why.
Eden Wraith, it couldn't have been me because this already goes way over my head. The only thing I can
Um,
tell you is that some of those words are written in blue, some of them are written in green, some black,
yeah.
various colors.
Yeah, so this is the function of the slider for the sound effect volume. So when you change the slider on the main menu, it gives you the volume. I don't know if it's supposed to do that on automatically, but it wasn't for me until I did this, and then it did. Then the sound effects and the music were separately governed by the sliders. So that's why I did it this way. So so let's just try just playing the river. So this is what we do: is we try to do it the right way, and then we just go simpler and simpler until it works. So let's try that. The issue with the volume was when I first put the like I didn't have volume sliders in the game before, so the issue with the volume is when I added the volume sliders, they weren't doing anything. And so I guess what I should have done, come to think of it, is make the volume sliders adjust the game audio and sound. That would have probably done it. It's a matter of not knowing the name of the right command. I think it was my problem there. So
So the command you typed was trying to do something different than what you were trying to do. Is that what you're
well,
saying?
for the volume sound and the music sound, the problem is I didn't know the proper name for the thing for overall game sound, an overall game of sound effects, and overall game music.
Okay.
I didn't know what that was called, so what I just did
Gotcha.
was I just brute forced it, where I just did it all myself.
Gotcha.
And that's just a matter of not me being familiar with the software. Is I got it to do what I wanted, but it's way more complicated than it needs to be.
And that's why
But let's try the river now.
that's what they refer to as like somebody who's a really good coder is not so much that they know everything, that they just use the least amount of stuff possible to get the job done, kind of thing.
See there, see yeah, there's Granislav. That's the magic. There's a lot of stuff that it's hard to, when you're looking at the help file in AGS. It can be hard to find the game dot set stuff. For me anyway. Um, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of it's good stuff to pick up eventually, but I just didn't have the right command for it, so I would do workarounds. No, it's not that. I'll wait for. I'm liking all the help here. Um, let's see.
I'm loving the chat. I just don't. I understand about
Let's see. Let me.
eight
I'm
to
going to turn the
eight to
music all the way off and
10% of
sound
it.
effects all the way up. Let's make sure that stays. Yeah. Okay. Um. Okay.
Gotcha. So an variable. Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. Game set audio type volume. Yeah. Um. So now I have that to look for. I can look for that and probably make this a lot easier on myself. But yeah. Um. I actually there's another function. There's another like baked in um like ability that AGS has that I only learned while I was way later, and it's so much more convenient. And I was doing everything much harder. There's a game dot do once only. So let's say you picked up an apple and you got 5 points. Well, you're not supposed to get 5 points every time you pick up the apple, right? So you can write some code so that you only get it from the first time you pick up the apple, or you can use this one command that already has that all pre-programmed into it.
Mm.
And once I learned that game.do once only thing, it helped so much. But there's not really a way to find that out on your own unless you kind of can. I don't know. You kind of stumble upon it in
You
a way.
can't really read the manual
Well,
because
there
there
is a
is
manual, but like a lot of like I'll actually show the manual after I. Hopefully this works. After I'm not hearing any.
music.
I'm not hearing. No, it's a sound effect, so I'm not hearing any sound effect, or I'm not hearing any river here. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll show you the help file. This it's a really good help file. And so you can go by content, index, or search. I use index a lot. A lot of these game functions here. So I like this one is what I was talking about. Where you can't see it because it's a pop up. Oh, never mind. A river. Why won't a river play? Maybe I'll just set the volume to 100 or something. This is something we could have volume.
I need to like send you my Surface tablet. It's a lot faster, I think.
Which one? Which generation is
I have
it?
a 4 and it has 8 gigs of RAM, I think. Is that better
um,
or worse or the same?
Well, what I'm going to probably have to do is I'm going to probably just do this as a screen capture because yeah, like as Grindeslav was saying, the window capture is not working. So what I'm going to
Mm.
do is I'm just going to do a screen cap for this. Let's add screen capture, window capture, display capture is what it's called. Sorry. Oh, I do have a display capture. Never mind. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to hide this one. No, not that one. Cancel. AGS. And I'm going to just put this one up. Why is it like that?
That's interesting.
What the heck?
It looks like it's trying to do 3 things at the same time.
Oh, yes. I hope this is entertaining for people. Yeah. Why?
I can switch screens.
No, 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 no. It's okay.
Let me show you
Um.
guys this one. This is the Painting Pixels with Julia, and this will be happening next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. live on Twitch. As we continue our series, Making the Crimson Diamond, this will be available on Twitch
Oh, wait.
slash twitch.tv/a_maple mystery. And let's go back to Julia. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry. Let's go back to advertising the art stream. Isn't
Oh
it
my gosh.
fantastic? Can I spell
What?
maple mystery? No. That's
Oh
why I
my
just
gosh.
say it.
Look, I can't even like resize this properly right now with the Alt key. I told you that Alt and the bounding box thing. I can't. It won't even get bigger. Like I can't. What the heck?
Hey, you guys want to know something funny? You said I went PBS on you. I actually did a voiceover for the last trailer Kickstarter for the Ultima Through the Moongate Volume 2. There's there's a Kickstarter. My friend Enrico from Italy, he's another big box collector. He asked me to do the voiceover for that video, and they had authored a book called Through the Moongate, which was based on Richard Garriott's story from Alcalabeth to somewhere in the midpoint of Origin somewhere, and then Volume 2 I think covered Origin to Portalarium, which was Shroud of the Avatar, which was his last game, as I understand it. What's that? Oh, words.
Okay,
No,
we're
it's not
totally
a
good
video
now,
game.
Dan.
We are?
Total. Oh yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, okay. I fixed the one problem, but I didn't fix the initial problem. what? What
Oh,
I
you
mean is,
fixed one problem and created another?
no, no, no. I didn't create another one, which
Oh,
is
good.
that's the exciting part.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But I got the display capture working properly. But like the yeah. So that's working.
Oh, fantastic.
It's working great. Yeah. But the initial problem of not getting the river to play is not working.
So interestingly, I'll reveal a little secret while Julia's
Please.
tearing her hair out. I
Mm.
am helping out a little bit with design testing and balancing of the other game that I'm working on, Empire of Sin. So I've been getting to see a little bit of the conversation that's going on. Most of my experience there is with Brenda Romero kind of helping me, mentoring me through design. She is really strongly encouraging me to go into game design. Um, I don't know why, but she's like a voice that you better listen to if she talks. So I listen, and it's been really interesting. Anyway, I'm seeing a lot of these errors and all kinds of stuff going on in the Empire of Sin build because it's a nightly build. It's different every day. If you watch any of their live streams, they're doing really cool stuff. She's doing a lot of live streams with various different people on the team. Ian, the lead combat designer, did a couple. Chris, and who else? I haven't even seen all of them. I was so busy working on the music that I hadn't even had a chance to. Hopefully, my schedule is going to be a little bit clearer now. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to watch that from a different perspective. They're using Lua, the language, to script, and I think they're using Unity. So it's pretty kind of interesting to me. I get to see the memory usage, even though this machine is ridiculously overpowered for a game like this. I also don't know how it's being ported or who's doing the porting, but I understand it's being ported to all consoles. So I'm sure there's memory limitations in those consoles, especially in the Switch, that have to be adhered to. So there's probably some things that get limited in the final version. I don't know if it's limited in the PC version or if there's RAM limitations or whatever. I don't know much about the hardware of the Switch. And I don't think most people are allowed to because there's some kind of crazy Nintendo NDA, which I did not sign. Yeah, Lua and Unity is an unusual combination. I think that's what they're using, though. I'm not too sure. You'd have to look. John said it somewhere. He's I don't know what his exact title on the game is. He's probably got several. But I work directly with him on the game as far as the music's concerned because he's the audio music guy. Yeah, I'm not too sure. They seem to be liking it. The builds are good. They've got a milestone build that's playable for the streams that they're using, and it seems pretty cool. Uh, Julia Francisco's got a couple of suggestions. I don't know if you saw in the chat.
Okay, switch the audio tab. Sure. Here's audio tab and here's river. And I tried to set the default volume of the audio for this sound to 100. I'm wondering.
Oh, the Empire of Sin streams. Yes, they're on the Paradox Interactive channel, and I believe I host them on my channel as well. But let me see if I can find the Paradox.
Oh, scroll the property down. Sure. There. Type sound. See if it's the right audio type. Yeah. It's either going to be sound or music or ambient sound. I don't think I have any ambient sound, but I guess it could be an ambient sound. But I just want to make sure the music is going to work, because the music was working fine. Although you guys couldn't really hear it, I could hear it. But the sound effects, I'm going to just check other sound effects in the game to see if they're working, because maybe it's like a global thing that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. Okay, so that's working. Music, sound effects. Let's pump up the sound effects. Let's open a door in the game and see if like the sound works. Okay, so the sound does work. Just that's a good thing to check, because maybe I had broken something really elemental. Because sound does work. TCDFX volume is the slider volume value is the volume that we have it, which is that. Play river sound. See, it's funny that I was saying to Dan, oh yeah, well, because we actually tested Dan and I yesterday some of the stuff we were going to do
Well,
today.
we didn't
did not
test
test
implementation.
this.
Yeah.
Can you tell we didn't test
We
it?
only have so much time. We actually shockingly have lives. It's weird to think that, but we do. But you know what though? I to be honest with you, I think this is really educational, and I like the teamwork that's going on here between not only you and I, but mostly between the chat and the two of us. Mostly you guys.
I don't understand why this isn't working.
I think it's kind of cool. For me, it's very educational because I feel like it's a classroom, and I came in last, or I moved halfway through the school year, and everybody already knows everything, and I'm just sitting here like, or even worse, I'm in a different language. I'm in I don't know, I'm in Holland or something. Everybody's speaking Dutch, and I don't understand one word.
Here's the door sound code: TCDFX, door open, play, and TCDFX volume, side effects volume. Yeah, so that's how these usually look. So yeah, I kind of tried to copy. There's a toilet flush sound. So I just did exactly the same thing. Of course, it can't be exactly the same thing because it would work, I'm assuming. Can you play the door sound instead of the river sound? Let's check. See, I like this. Yeah, this is the type of thing we can do here. So let's try to do that. And I'm just going to double check how that gets implemented again. So when door opens, so let's go to door opens, I forget what it's called. Open door simple. Let's see how I call the function. Door sound, yeah, perfect. So it's supposed to look like that. So let's just take that, and let's see if we can make the river sound like a door.
Yeah, I think Anna and I are going to go to recess because we're in kindergarten, and everybody here is university level.
So Grindaslav wants to know if I plan on doing anything fancy like positional audio. Just going to be playing and stopping the music in SFX. Very, very simple. Just playing and stopping the music in FX.
Yeah, so
let's
far.
Let's try the door sound. Let's see if that works. When we get to the fisherman in the beginning, let's see if we get that door sound. Just double check.
And you said university, which makes me think you're in Canada. or England or
Okay, so
Australia.
there we go. So we heard, well, I heard anyway, the door sound um, when I opened this. So that's what should have happened with the river. That wasn't happening with the river. Let's try the river again. Not that it should work. Oh, good. You heard it, dog stocks. Let's try the river. Although I think this is what wasn't working in the first place. Um, every time
Julia's
I
game. I liked seeing
what's
that
that?
Julia's game. That should be an Easter egg.
Just using river plane river stop will be fine. Yeah, once I tell the overall game audio to call the sliders values from the sliders, retrieve the values from the sliders, then I won't have to do all this stuff. So that's gonna be my evening. Oh, see, and I broke it again.
What does that say? No, no, don't go too fast. Oh, I wanted to see what it was. I wanted to learn
Oh, we
about
did
it.
the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Null pointer reference, whatever.
Anna, you never had a roommate and never went to high school? Nice. I had a lot of roommates and I went to high school and I didn't particularly care for either of those things. I must have had 16 or 20 roommates in my old apartment when I lived in Queens. I lived in
Holy
Queens for
cow.
like 8 years.
Well, this all the idea of troubleshooting this is not really
Oh,
necessary because if I'm going to redo everything according to this game set audio type volume, then I won't need to do this. Although I find like, well, so what? Let's say I change. So Francisco, let's say I have the, like a door open sound, and then I want to change it for another door open sound. So, but the door open sound happens in all the hallways and everything. I guess that you would just put that in the function. And then you would replace the door open sound you have in the audio assets to the new one. That's what you would do, I guess. Um, because otherwise you'd have to go into every door, into every hallway, and change the name of the name of the sound. So wouldn't it? I guess you would just put the door open sound in a function that would govern all the door openings, including the animation and the sound. Which is what I have, I guess, already. So everything that has a sound should be folded into some kind of function.
did you see what Chad said?
Hmm? You could assign the SFX. Oh wait, Chad said. Do you have to load in the music asset when you program AGI games? You make sure to load in the sound graphic asset. So, the yeah, like the
It's
sound
loaded.
gets when you import it, all becomes resource stuff in EGS. So you don't have to do that stuff separately. Once you've done the importing, which is here, then it's all good. So yeah, we added an audio file. Uh, could assign the SFX to the door? Yeah. Um, well, you know what I'm gonna. You know what kind of yeah? The door open is a sound. It's an an OG file. Oh Dan, what are these files you gave me? A wave file. Maybe
Is that the
maybe
problem?
um it shouldn't be.
I forgot I was supposed to give you OG files
Let
compressed.
me. I can convert it real quick using an online converter. I don't think it should be a problem, but everything else is OG files. So
Yes, I wonder if that's the issue.
oh my god, Dan.
So then the whole thing is my
I'll be
fault.
happy if this is the problem.
So the whole thing is my
What's that?
fault. That would be nice.
Which is why I'd be happy. Okay, give me a second.
Dan broke Julia's game live on stream. And he'll do
Let's
it
see.
again
Windows
in
also
a couple of weeks.
keep your door sound function to door plane stuff audio channel stuff. Hmm.
Yeah, no, the deluxe tux was definitely used. So while she's doing that, I'll tell you a really crazy story about roommates. So I
Please.
saw somebody about living in a suite. Deluxe tux said living in a suite with 9 other folks in college. So check this out. You want to hear a really strange story? I went to school at a school of, I think the student population was 15 or 20,000, something like that. Stony Brook University out in Long Island, New York. about 2 hour train ride from the city. So I go out on a date with this girl, and one date, whatever, this is fine. Went to the diner or something. I was young, and she calls me up like a couple days later. She says, "Dan, I have something to tell you." I'm like, "What could you possibly have to tell me? I don't even know you. What are you talking about?" So she says, "Do you know this girl? Blah blah blah." And I say, "Oh yes. Why? That's my ex-girlfriend." "Oh yeah. So she lives in my suite." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me." Out of a student population of so many thousand people, the one girl I date happens to live in the same suite with my ex-girlfriend? Come on. Like, listen, I didn't have that many girlfriends in college. It would be nice to say I had like 50 girlfriends. I didn't. I had two or three or four or something. I don't know. Wasn't that wasn't that many. At least for me, it wasn't that many. Small world, too small world. That's unbelievable. How is that possible? So literally, and of course, I ended up dating the girl for a while, and I dated the previous girl for a while and broke up with her. She wasn't too happy about that, but it is what it is. Yeah, listen, anybody who says, and listen, I'm not talking about four girlfriends at the same time. I'm talking about four over a period of time. They didn't overlap or anything like that. That's very much trouble. So yeah. Anyway, that's my that I have many. Sadly, I have many stories, and there's more details. But that's the bottom line: is that you know my ex girlfriend had to deal with me walking into her suite and potentially seeing me every once in a while. Weird. And I think I had just graduated too. 2000 this must have been 2004, 2005, something like that. That was her problem, not mine. I didn't have a problem with her. I just didn't want to date her anymore. Well, you know what, Anna, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about like, you know what, I'm gonna play some music that's kind of embarrassing for me, but at the same time, it's real. So let me play it. Let me be real for once on the stream instead of saying, "Oh, my life is always awesome. I always had it really good." I didn't, and I made a lot of crappy music for a long time, and now hopefully I make less a lower percentage of crappy music than I once used to. So while Julia's figuring that out, why don't I take a moment to advertise the making of the Crimson Diamond Live, Painting Pixels with Julia, next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. What do they call it? Eastern Daylight Time? Is that correct? Yes. Uh, Julia, did we lose your audio? Are you trying to fix it?
No,
Oh, no,
no,
you're
it
there
worked,
still.
but you couldn't
Okay,
hear
good.
it.
Good.
It totally just worked the first time I tried it.
8 p.m. at Eastern Standard Time. Julia, aka twitch.tv/a underscore maple mystery, will be live painting your favorite pixels in the EGA palette. All 16
Okay,
beautiful,
I'm gonna hold
wondrous
up my
colors.
microphone to this. Let's see. Yeah.
She muted
This is
while
the
she's.
delightfulness of what we call live, whatever this is. Okay, so let's put this down. Let's put and I don't even know where the microphone is on this Surface Pro 2, but
It's probably next to the camera.
next to the camera.
I
Okay,
think
so
it
we're gonna
is.
put this right over here. Can you hear that?
Whoops. Yes. Sounds like I need to use the bathroom.
That is the sound that we've been trying to get make for the past half an hour, and it's. I'm not gonna say it's your fault because how well you.
It's my fault.
Well.
Frankly, the sounds wasn't worth it. Well, that's a whole nother story, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, no, I
Staticky
feel it.
water. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that's FM quote unquote water. Have you ever listened to have you ever played anybody ever played any of the LucasArts games? Maybe the later EGA, early VGA? Like Indiana Jones is the one that comes to mind. Listen to some of those walking noises. Listen to the water sound. Listen to when you put out the fire in the castle, Brunwald or whatever it's called. Has anyone here not played them? You'd be surprised. They're not all old like me.
Dan, you can change my screen back to the
Yes, I can.
display capture.
Safely? You sure
Yeah, it's
about
all
that?
good now.
Hmm. It's all good now?
Yeah, it's all good now.
uh, it doesn't appear to be.
No?
No.
What happened? What do we do?
I don't know. I'm seeing something different. I'm seeing I'm seeing just a loop of OBS.
Yeah. That's fine. It should change
Oh,
now. I
okay.
mean, I'm on AGS again.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
hopefully that's gonna resolve itself or something. Yes. I think I saw my own cursor. Yes, that should be fixed. Okay.
I really like the indie games, Chad. They're fantastic to me, but they're
Uh,
not all. The first one, I think everybody likes the second one better. I didn't play Fate of Atlantis that much, but I loved the first one, and I think
what?
everybody prefers Fate of Atlantis.
Sources,
So
display capture. This is display capture 3. Come on, guys.
recursive
Why?
win. Ah, no, we
Why is
almost
this
had it.
happening?
Oh, there we go. That looks good. We're seeing AGS now. AGS editor.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what the delay is all about.
Hold on. Let me make it. Let
Okay,
me.
so great.
You do
We
your
put the
thing.
robot sound in. Um, that was seamless.
Hi, I'm still alive. What's up?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good. All right. See you in a minute. Bye. Yeah, Fate of Atlantis is the one everybody's a fan of. I actually just bought a copy of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade last night on eBay, and I bought the copy that I had when I was a kid, which was the it's some pack-in version that comes in like a paper sleeve, and it I think I spent way too much money on it still, but I never had the box, so I wanted the one that I had when I was a kid as opposed to the nice looking, quote unquote nice looking expensive one. Online coding for kids, that's what I need. Engage your child in programming, fun and smart game based something. Lost it.
I'm gonna do the bucket one and um
These are all WAV files. I really screwed you up, didn't I?
I don't want to I want to say, well, you didn't know that they had to be OGs, but you kind of did. But I don't, I'm not mad
It's
about it.
true.
I'm just relieved it works.
She's not mad about it, except I'm going to get a lot of angry text messages later,
You
but that's cool.
you're so not.
I know
I'm
I'm
not
not.
like that. Don't
You're
give me
not
wrong.
actually. You're not. You're really not.
I'm just relieved because it
Can
works now, and
VLC
that's the
convert to
important thing.
OGG? I think it does actually. I think that's how I was
Oh yeah.
converting before in
Okay.
on my Mac. I think that's what I was using.
You eating with? I remember you saying that, and then promptly forgot that you said that. I have VLC here, so
VLC is nice. I find its conversion um, thing is a little clunky to use.
oh, there it is.
Julia
Convert
seems like
save.
a
Okay,
pretty
so
chill
why don't we
person.
try one?
She's a really chill
Um,
person. At least when I met her in person, she was a really chill person. And when
thank
I
you, Eden
talked to
Waite,
her,
and thank you, Dan.
I've spent more time on her on with Julia on Twitch than I have in person,
That's true.
but she doesn't seem different on Twitch than in person.
I'm the
You got
same
to go
thing.
back to work. What time is it there? You're in Canada. The latest at 8 p.m. is the latest it could be.
Hold on. I gotta find these darn things.
Recess is over. 8 p.m. Oh, so you're in like Victoria or Vancouver or something like that.
Oh, it's not here. It's not here. Okay. I have the worst files.
Victoria. Yep. I played a gig up in Victoria a couple years ago. Well, it's probably more than a couple years ago.
Good. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it that you're here and you found this interesting. Bless you for finding it interesting.
Uh, yeah, Anna, thank you for coming. We'll see you. We'll see you. We'll see you next week at 8
Oh
p.m.
yeah, I wanted to
We'll see you
Beltree
next week
one.
at 8 p.m. on live on the art stream, Painting Pixels with Julia.
Yeah, we're gonna just do more of that ROM exterior. So we can do that here. Oh, we don't even need to
Yeah,
open media.
I misread the same thing that Francisco misread.
Right.
I guess so the logic behind not supporting WAV files would be to just save space. Painting pixels
Convert.
while listening to the river sounds.
Okay, here it is. Oh, which one do I want? Vorbis or Theora plus Vorbis?
Vorbis.
Okay. Convert. Okay.
It's just a little
Destination file.
clunky the software to me. Painting
Hmm.
pixels with Julia while listening to the river sounds.
Oh yeah, we're never gonna hear that river sound ever again.
Wave is large, but doesn't it take a certain amount of decoding power to decode these files, or is that like a joke now? Julia should get a Bob Ross wig. She could just borrow my real hair.
Let's try the bucket one. Oh, let's try the bucket hog. It's good. Good stuff. Let's do this. Bucket.
Interestingly enough, if you guys had or downloaded or purchased the big box of Sigil
Whoa.
by John Romero, which is the fifth episode of Doom 1, the music was by a guy called Buckethead. And he's pretty cool. If you look him up, John has been sending me some links to check him out. He's pretty amazing and really different guitar player, different style guitar player. Wears a KFC bucket on his head while performing. Kind of wild. You know, I need
That
one
is
of these
wild.
cool things too. I need one of these cool art stream, what's the names?
Does he have holes cut out of the KFC bucket?
Well, it doesn't cover his head. Francisco is saying, wait, no, don't make a new function.
I didn't.
Okay.
I stopped myself.
Okay.
Because yeah, I'm gonna have to clean it all up to use this magic game.set audio type volume thing.
I don't know. Buckethead, but he wears like a mask too. So he wears a bucket on his head and he has like, it's not quite the Guy Fawkes mask, but it's similar. It's like just a white mask. So you definitely can't tell what he looks like. Yeah, his music is pretty versatile. That's what I noticed. I put in some wild guitar solos in the other game that I'm working on. Hopefully, I'm allowed to say that, but you'll hear it eventually anyway. Lord Buckethead ran for office in the UK. You know, I don't know the answer to that, but I like some of the candidates we get for various offices. We had a guy called Jimmy McMillan in New York City, and I think he was running for mayor of New York City, and his party was the Rent is Too Damn High party, and his whole platform was the rent is too damn high. It was awesome, and he's totally right. And I think he was running for governor because Cuomo debated with him, and Cuomo said he agreed with him that the rent was indeed too damn high. He did not win, no, sadly. DJ Megahammer, what's up? Thank you for sending me that link. Oh, KFC made him stop? Oh, that's terrible. Jimmy McMillan sadly did not win. And then there's another guy that runs for president usually every election. It's a guy called Vermin Supreme, and he wears a large boot on his head, and he has a long beard, kind of like a ZZ Top style beard. And I think he promises free ponies for everyone. I think that's one of his campaign promises. I'm not too certain. Vermin guy, yeah, Furrow, you know Vermin Supreme, yeah. I think he does music too. I want to say, or maybe I'm mixing that up with somebody else, but yeah. No, yeah, check out Jimmy McMillan and the Rent is Too Damn High party and look at him. He's got a really unique look. I love the way the guy looked. He actually looked like he should be a character in Lamplight City. Like he could have been a character in Lamplight City. Or potentially probably not in Rosewater. He would have fit in Lamplight City perfectly. You know what? He could fit in Rosewater.
Hey, DJ Mega Hammer.
Yeah, so DJ Mega Hammer sent me this really cool link of some music that he did with an MT32.
Sweet.
Yep. I don't know if it's public or not, so I'm not gonna share it unless he wants to share it. He could share it here, but if not, no problem. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just dropping some more stuff in here.
He had some amazing facial hair. He was just like he seemed like a guy like that had his head on straight, which is hard to hear from. It doesn't often seem that from a politician, but the rent is too damn high party. That was his whole platform. And I think I remember him running after the recession at some point. Uh, I'm trying to think of how long Cuomo's been governor. Quite a while. It's public, no problem. You want to put the link, DJ Mega Hammer? You want to put the link in here? Because I think it applies to what we're doing. We're obviously knee deep in MT32. Okay, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
I heard some river.
And then there's going to be a bucket sound and the glinty sound. Hold on, we're going to hopefully get there. Oh, wait.
Hey, that's kind of cool. Sounds a little.
I kind of wanted it in the other place. Oh yeah, and there's the new ROM that you guys will see. I at the very beginning of my art stream, this filler art stream today, I showed I just implemented the work in progress ROM exterior just because I thought it would be fun to do.
And what's the
But yeah,
ROM? The Royal Ontario Museum?
yes, the Royal Ontario Museum. No, the read only museum. I think someone joked that last stream. Read only museum. You can't add any more exhibits.
You can't even add any more drawing onto that. That's it.
Okay, so that works. Although I did want the glinty sound for when the diamond falls out.
So the timing was a little bit off.
Yeah, but it's fine. Like
Cool.
it's thing.
DJ Mega Hammer just posted his link to the MT32 song that he did. He does some game work as well. I'm not too familiar with all the games, but I know he does some work in video games as well. Some composing work, I should say, not work.
Oh, that's very cool. If Francisco's still here, ask him how I can make sure that when people set the volume and sound effect setting, and then when they restart the game, how it won't reset to the original settings. I don't know how to do that. Or Tom could maybe tell me how to do that.
Well, you can ask him, or I can ask him for you, but I'm sure they heard you.
I don't know if Tom isn't here or Francisco isn't here, I'll just bother them.
I think they are.
Later.
I think they are.
Okay, so yeah, so let's see. What other sounds did you give me? You gave me the bell sound, the bucket river. Okay, I think we hey, look at that.
He did hear you.
Okay, so Francisco, how do I do that? So when they load the game, what they set the volume up previously is what they get. Do you know? Is there like a beautiful magic statement like the one you gave me for the other thing?
The Grundislav has heard you.
Grundislav heard me.
Not Grundislav, the Grundislav has
And
heard you.
I'm not going to show you guys any files from the promo stuff folder.
What we could do is, oh no, there you go. Here, it looks like you're good.
It's too promographic. Exactly, the lock stocks. This is a family stream.
I got lost in a maze and eaten by a Grundislav. It happens. If you ever meet Francisco in person, watch out. He's watch out. Just be careful. No, I'm kidding. He's totally a nice guy.
So here's the sound as we have it. So we added river sound, bucket sound, and glinty glint sound. Ooh la la.
He's hingy. Hingy? Did I pronounce hungry?
He's hingy.
He's also hingy. Perhaps that means he's very
probably
flexible.
is.
I don't know. Hungry. Well, you live in Brooklyn, right, Francisco? So you're in you got good food over by there.
Sweet. It mostly works. I'm well pleased.
Yeah,
I'm well
that's
pleased.
pretty cool.
Except now I know after Tom and Francisco have so helpfully told me, I have to completely redo the whole audio thing.
For the entire game?
Well, I just have to get rid of all these functions and use these two lines to replace like the dozens of lines I've put. That will work
Mm.
just as well.
Well, your code will become more elegant then.
It'll be a little more elegant than it is now, which like it's just, mm,
Uh-oh. Chad's revealing secrets.
promo
Promo
folder.
folder reveals game secrets. Like Kimmy and Albert are in cahoots to rob Crimson of all its diamonds and garnets. And
And
cormorants.
cormorants.
Definitely Kimmy's in cahoots to do that.
I even forget where that was. Where I forget where that folder is. Which is I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. That was pretty good. I think we showed how to
That is
break
pretty
and fix
awesome.
things.
Was it elegant? Was it beautiful?
Ooh.
Yes, maybe it was. It depends on your definition. Maybe it was not, but I actually liked that. I really like seeing less code, and less code is better. Yep. That makes sense to me. But I
Yes.
like I like seeing this kind of stuff. Even with the pain, the pain that comes along with it. It's real to me.
Especially if you caused the pain,
Yes, I did cause the
then it's
pain.
even more amusing.
The only bug-free code is deleted code. By the way, have I mentioned to anyone here that next week at 8 p.m., Making the Crimson Diamond Live, Painting Pixels with Julia. You know what it
Mm.
reminds me of? It reminds me of like like a PBS show for real. So we have it kind of like Bob Ross, where she paints with pixels. She only uses 16 colors. She's got her yellow ochre. She's got her what are all those damn colors that he used? Phthalo blue.
Burnt
Uh,
sienna,
no, he used crimson, something crimson.
alizarin crimson.
Alizarin crimson. Wow, there we go.
Yep.
No, you don't want me as your PR guy. I can't keep anything straight, Francisco. But I'm happy to do severed hand model or severed finger model, things of that, or hair. Sorry, hair rotoscoping model. Assistant, maybe assistant backup hair rotoscoping model. That's it. Well, we ironed out some kinks so that they do not reoccur with the next 500 audio drops. PR voice, yeah, your voiceover, that's not a problem. Next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the Crimson Diamond Live Painting Pixels with Julia will commence. Twitch.tv/A underscore maple mystery. That's A underscore maple mystery. You know what it is, Francisco? I have the mic for it. This mic that I use. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, Julia's on a loop here.
Yeah,
But
hold on. I don't know. It's saying stop streaming, but I'm not streaming on thing. My
I don't think
Discord. What the
so.
heck is it saying?
I don't know.
Oh,
There's Julia.
I don't know what's
Hi,
going on.
Julia.
Here I
Good to see
am.
you.
I'm still here.
No, this mic is really expensive, and my vocal chain is really expensive. But that was all stuff that I had with no intent of ever doing live streaming. I never even thought about. To be honest, I never even wanted to have any social media pages. But it
Hmm.
in 2000, when I 2004, I guess, graduated and finished all my work, I didn't understand the importance of it, because in 2004 it wasn't necessarily as important as it is now, and it's changed completely. No, this is not a Blue Yeti. This is a Shure SM7B, which is like a broadcast mic. They use it a lot for radio broadcasting, television broadcasting. If you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, he's using these mics. I think they're about $400 or $500, but they sound really good. But they need a lot of gain, so you have to have some kind of preamp, and sometimes you even need a lifter gain box to get to the preamp. If you watch did anybody watch Jay's 2 Cents on YouTube? He's like a computer nerd guy that builds stuff, and I like him. I like the way he talks. I don't know. But he bought one, and he didn't know how to use it. Like, he knows everything about computers, but he didn't know the first thing about audio. And you're watching him review the mic, and I'm like, dude, you got this thing set up wrong, bro. And he's got 2.5 million followers or whatever on YouTube. But it's cool, But it's a nice mic. The Blue Yeti mic is a condenser mic. This mic is a dynamic mic. So just to give you a brief overview of audio, A condenser mic will capture, generally speaking, all the audio around you. It's good for capturing like the sound of a room, the sound of your voice or your instrument in the room, and it's made to capture all of that sound. Whereas a dynamic mic is ideally suited for close sources or live. So if you're performing live, you can't use a condenser mic because it's going to pick up everything that's happening on the stage. You're going to use a dynamic mic of some kind, right? It doesn't matter if it's wireless or wired. Um, that's how the dynamic versus condense. That's the basic version of the dynamic versus condenser mic. And the more expensive, typically, the better. Not always, but it depends on your voice type too. So if you're recording artists, I mean, I'm more familiar with the music side, so I would record singers, vocalists, or instrumentalists, not so much voiceover. But this mic is suited for voiceover and broadcast, so it's perfect for something like Twitch. The difference is that I've been talking to, he's not here tonight, but you see him in the chat sometimes, a guy called Sam Tacky. He's actually a professional audio engineer. He's my front of house engineer when I go on tour. So I've spent years traveling with the guy, and we are always talking about audio. He's educating me on these subjects all the time. So I'm lucky I have the resources to be able to go to him. But if he jumps in the chat, the guy knows way more. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know about audio and how it works. And he treats his mixing board the same way I treat my keyboard on stage. He's performing from where he is, and I'm performing from where I am. And that's kind of how it works. He's treating audio like he's treating his mixing board like an instrument, But that's the music side. That's not so much the Twitch side. And he often mentions to me that why does Twitch streamers want mics that block up their whole camera? He said, really, you should have something like whatever Julia has, where you can't see the mic, which is cool, unless she shows it to you. What is that exactly? That
It's
is
a condenser mic.
Zach sound. And it probably works because wherever Julia is, the house is quiet.
Yep.
In a loud environment where my basement is stupid loud, I have the humidifier going, the heater kicks on to heat the water, and people clomping around upstairs. A condenser mic would be not cool. And I have them, and if I plug them in, you would just hear crap. Anyway, that's a long-winded version. But you could also use the mics that what are they called? Like headset mics. Yeah, those typically don't sound that good. Most of them, they sound kind of like your Commando, which I guess was the original purpose of them. You're like red leader, go,
When I think
go.
Commando, I think something else.
What do you think of? Commando.
Going Commando.
Julia, this is a family show. What's happened to this?
How's that not family related?
You
said it sounds like you're Commando.
Well, okay. Well, it sounds like you're going Commando, I guess. I don't know. I haven't thought of it that way.
Which I don't know what that sounds like, but I guess you know.
If I didn't, I know now. Oh, dear Lord. Well, I think that's pretty much the end of the stream for us tonight. And all I can say is that I recommend next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we continue making the Crimson Diamond live, painting pixels with Julia. Twitch.tv/A_Maple.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right? We have to wait a whole week. Yeah, sorry. So, Lost Look, what's up?
Hey.
From Renstream, bogus music.
Oh, that's great. Is the Renaissance still on, actually? Because Dan, if we're winding down for the night,
yeah,
we should raid the Renaissance because he was streaming the Crimson Diamond.
Let's do it. That would be awesome.
Okay, let me check.
And show me how to do it.
He's still on? I'm not sure. He's still on. Okay, so I'm gonna
Thanks, Chad. Dude, thanks, Francisco. Awesome to have you here.
Hold on, let me write this down properly.
Tom, I got to check out your games. I'm kind of excited about that. I have a little bit of time now to potentially do that.
The Renaissance. Okay, so I'm just gonna write this down so you can do the raid, Dan. But yeah,
Yep.
the Renaissance. The Renaissance is playing the Crimson Diamond demo right now
Awesome.
as we
How do we do
speak. So
that?
it would be perfect
Uh,
into the night
let's
to
jump
raid.
in and we'll type in the chat.
I'll give you his name. The name of his the there. Yes, yeah. Hold on.
Let's
Let me
go.
look up.
Raid. Oh, there
Oh,
we
there.
go.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Roy. Beat me to the punch. Perfect. That's his. That's his. And I misspelled it when I was going to send it to you, so I'm glad. So yeah, that's his Twitch channel. So you should just go /raid and then his Twitch name.
Well,
Will
let's
yeah,
do it anyway.
perfect. Sweet. Yes. Just like
Boom.
that.
And here we go.
That's awesome. Oh, he's ending now.
Let's go. Who cares? Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's make him
Let's
not
do it.
end. We're in. I think we're rating, but I don't know how to see his stream.
I just jumped into his channel.
Do I have to stop streaming?
I don't
I guess,
I
right?
did, but I didn't. I could still see you because